Hi, it's Joe Mazumdar of Exploration Insights at the Metals Investment Forum in downtown Vancouver. And with me, I've got the VP of Exploration, Bruce Smith from Radius
Hi,
Gold.
Joe. Thanks for inviting me.
No worries. Bruce, so you just gave this presentation. You talked about a lot of things that Radius is doing. I'd like to get into some specifics. Like, first of all, most of the focus, up and down in the share price has been on the Pan American joint venture at Amalia. So what's happening there?
So, a bit of the up and down in the share price. We, last year, drilled one of the, supposedly the world's best drill holes in exploration. We hit 44 meters at 12 grams gold and a couple of hundred silver, and that got people very excited. So we've continued to drill that project. We just finished phase 3, and we've hit, fantastic underground grades. We hit 22 meters at 4.5 gold and 100 silver, and those are great grades, but they weren't as great as the Bonanza hole number 12. So we've now defined that ore shoot from the surface to 350 meters. You yourself have put out a newsletter giving a ballpark number on what that might be, and it's that's big enough for a company like us to mine well. But with Pan American as a partner, they're looking for 2 or 3 ore shoots more. Mm-hmm. So we've just gone into the phase now of, well, Pan American's the operator, but we've acquired the Palmias license. It's taken me a long time to get it. It's taken me a couple of years because a family owned it. They were internal claim blocks with some good targets, but that family was a fractured family, separated wife and lost, and we need the kids to sign. So we've finally got that signed, and that brings several new targets to the Amalia license. And we're right now exploring those targets. Our pick is that Pan American is 90% highly likely to bring that into the joint venture. If they don't, for some reason, then we'd be happy to explore it and drill it ourselves.
All right, and you're trying to cover like a multi-kilometer structure here on the Amalia.
So far, the 99% of the drilling that Pan American's conducted is all around this one high-grade chute.
Called the
San Pedro chute, yes. And that the drilling is along about a 600 or 700 meter extension of the strike, but we have 10 kilometers of strike and some parallel veins that have not really been looked at all.
Okay.
So we're starting that process now with this new licenses, Palmias. They've just found some nice, beautiful breccias with silver outcropping a kilometre to the south of the current drilling. So I think in the next phase of drilling, there's going to be obviously some more drilling in the San Pedro chute because it's open to expansion at depth. It's wide open and it can get wider. But we're going to be drilling some of the new targets as well.
So when you do have a joint venture with a major producer, it sort of gives the market the idea, or investors the idea, okay, that's a stamp of approval.
Yeah.
But it sort of slows news flow. You're not the operator anymore. But you've got other projects, like you spent quite a bit of time in your presentation talking about a new project that you've just tripped upon in December of last year.
So when we were the operators of the Amalia property for the first 2 drill phases, and as soon as we hit those bonanza grades, the fantastic grades, Pan American said, right, we want to operate that. So that was part of the deal. We allowed them to do that. That freed our geological team to go, or the core parts of that geological team to go out and find more things. And we've been hard out trying to find more things, and it's just come to fruition in the last 6 months. So actually, this new discovery is just one of, I think, more that will come. The new discovery, I went there myself just in December, and I was completely stunned to find that there was this really huge historic mining camp with massive underground workings that had never been documented. We couldn't find it in the...
And this is in Mexico as well?
This is in Mexico. I haven't been in our presentations to date too specific because we're busy consolidating the district, but it's in the Sierra Madre. We believe that there's somewhere near 1.5 million tons have been extracted in large underground cavities from this camp by hand mining methods in the 1800s. There's no record of this in the Mexican Geological Survey or any of the literature, And when you go in and have a look, I've been going into mines throughout Mexico and Latin America for 25 years, and they're always filled with sample numbers, tickets, spray paint, all that sort of thing. And you go into these ones and they're completely virgin. There's not a sample taken anywhere on that property.
And no drill holes, obviously.
No drill holes. No drill holes.
So
And
what's the step forward going there?
So right now we're
And sorry, what's this project called again?
It's called Plateros.
Plateros, right.
Plateros. Right now we're tidying up the licensing situation because these were old licenses. The owners of those licenses hadn't ever been on the ground. They got them from their grandfather. They haven't paid the taxes for a long time, so the licenses are in legal. We have to pay the back taxes, get the licenses in good legal standing, and we're going after anything else in the district as well. And so as soon as that's done, we're installing a camp right now, and we're going to start on a big phase of mapping the known workings. For me to walk through the workings, just to walk through some of it, took me all day, like 10 hours.
Because you were saying it's a 5-hour mule ride just to get there?
Well, it's a 5-hour mule ride to get there, but I slept there the night, got up in the morning, started walking through these old mines, and by lunchtime I hadn't even made it halfway. They go for 500 meters in an anastomosing series of caverns and bulk mining from the 1800s. It's hard to believe that it's not documented.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so right now you
Right
haven't
now?
announced anything until you solidify your land package.
We're solidifying the land package. So we've announced that we've found it, we've shown photos and things like that, but we just haven't said exactly where it is.
Okay.
We're building a camp there now. We have to get some community relations agreements in place, and I've already talked to very few people live there, very poor people, and so we've had some discussions with them. They want us to be there, obviously, because it gives them jobs and things to do, and we're doing that, putting in a camp, and I expect to see detailed sampling and mapping come out of there in the next month.
Results, meaning?
Results,
Okay.
yeah.
And then beyond that, you've got, your other stuff you're doing by yourself is the Bald Peak,
Yeah,
which is an epithermal system, Nevada-California border.
The Bald Peak project's on the Nevada-California border. It's taken us a long time to get it permitted. It's a slow process because it's split between a couple of different authorities, but most companies have shied away from that area because it's taken a long time to permit. But we're just constant. It's not a high priority in terms of exploration today, but when we get the permit, the drill targets are fantastic. I mean, if you know anything about epithermal sinter-based targets, this is next door to Bodie, the mining camp that produced 1 million ounces at an ounce. Very high grade. And we've got this beautiful sinter with really good grades on it, and we've done the geophysics, we know where the target is. It's a beautiful target, but it's just complex to get it permitted, but we'll get it done. We think that we'll get it done this summer, and it shouldn't be too bad. But meanwhile, we've got other projects. We've got Guatemala.
Yeah.
And in Guatemala, I worked there 20 years ago with Simon with the same group, and we developed a whole series of projects that were really interesting. But we took the decision about 10 years ago to ice those because the Guatemalan government wasn't favorable to mining. They now have a new president coming in who's said publicly multiple times that he really wants to see the mines move ahead. Pan American has just bought Escobal. That's one of the biggest primary silver deposits in the world, and they think that they're going to get that thing going. The new President of Guatemala has said publicly that he thinks that he can get that operational in 6 months. That's a political statement. I don't believe it necessarily, but it shows his determination to move that project forward. If that project moves forward, or any of the others like Bluestone or anything else, we have a package of world-class exploration projects there ready to go.
All right. Yep. So going forward, we should get results from
Amalia.
That your new project,
Plateros. We'll get drill permission with Bald Peak. We're waiting to see what happens in Guatemala, but also at the same time, I've got 3 exploration teams in the field every day, led by senior geologists, Mexicans, Guatemalans, a couple of guys that I've worked with for over 25 years who have 25 years experience. They are running our Mexican exploration, and I think we're looking at 1 or 2 new properties every week are coming in. And so Plata Verde is just one of the discoveries that's ready to go. I've got assays on other ones and stuff that I'm trying to negotiate deals on, but I don't have them quite ready yet. So I think there's a lot more to come out of Radius this year.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Bruce.
Thank you, Joe. It's a pleasure.
That's Bruce Smith, VP Exploration for Radius Gold. Joe Mazumdar, Metals Investment Forum, downtown Vancouver. Thank you very much.